what Biden administration has done is absolutely remarkable and laudable, but there's still several roadblocks. We are still waiting for EU to really change its position, and there are tough negotiations ahead. But let's hope that the Biden administration gives the people's vaccines serious momentum. And if that happens, it will really change the discourse, and the vaccine shortage that we're looking at, the vaccine inequality that we're looking at will come to an end. But it's going to take some time. But before that, it is really the hurdles, the political hurdles of EU and some other rich countries backing the waiver is critical. And it's really the pharma companies which need to understand that they cannot prioritize profits over health, or in fact, now it's life. It's not just health. Absolutely. I think, every country needs to understand, particularly the countries which are opposing the waiver, they need to understand that anybody vulnerable in the world makes them vulnerable. So vaccine nationalism or looking at profits through these vaccines is going to be counterproductive. A lot of experts are saying that it is a matter of time, probably a year, when the virus would mutate to a level where the current first generation of vaccines would be ineffective. And once they're ineffective, we'll live in a global community. You cannot imagine that in the US, you say that you have vaccinated people with the first generation vaccine, and there's a mutation that's happened somewhere in Asia or in Europe, and it will not come back to US. So it's going to be critical for people to understand that we would be safe only when we have vaccinated the entire globe. And there cannot be any other shortcut to that group. So that's of critical importance. Oh, absolutely. It would have been very, very different. And the vaccine shortage in India is massive, as we are all seeing now, particularly when we have opened it to 18 and 45. But even before that, as we must get a sense of the numbers, we have been able to vaccinate only around 10% of our population with the first jab, and less than 2% with both the jabs. And this is India, which is the pharmacy of the world. We produce most of the vaccine. Just go to Africa, the numbers are really low. So this would not have happened if we were actually producing vaccines without patents. There would have been mass production of vaccines, and hopefully by this time, we would have seen a significant population of the world vaccinated. So it is, I would say, ethically, morally, completely unacceptable that we have continued looking at profit, super profits over saving life. I think the point is that we will get out of the clutches of some of the big pharmas, which essentially means that a lot of other pharma companies which are competent and capable of making these vaccines will start producing one. So what it really means is that we'll look at almost mass production of the vaccines across the several pharma companies, vaccine manufacturers, and that will ease out. So for me, it's difficult. I'm not an expert on vaccines to be able to say that in how many weeks, how many months this would happen, but it will clearly be a game changer. And that's very clear that at this moment, as we know, it is still the Serum Institute, which is doing almost 80 to 90% of the vaccines in India. And we have Covaxin, which is being done, say, 10 to 15%. This will change. You will have several other actors who will come in and start producing vaccines. Hopefully, the government will also recognize that we should not continue with the odd vaccine policy that we have unveiled in the last few weeks. We must go back to our universal immunization program. where the central government is the procuring authority, and they are able to then procure from multiple manufacturers, which just means that the shortage would be eased out, and everybody should be given a free vaccine. As in, that's something we owe to humanity.